I'm gonna tell you 6 fragrances that's guaranteed to be a head turner. Let's go. First things first, let's discuss what is exactly what I meant about head turner, which means fragrance that's warm, spicy, generates a lot of compliment, and it is nowhere, not really a daytime kind of a fragrance. I know I included some of it right here, okay, but we'll just go with this list because fresh fragrances, they do deserve to be head turners as well. Let's start with my beloved fragrance. Now, this is one of my all-time favorites. This is Versace's Dylan Blue. Now, this fragrance is extremely nice to smell. You get a lot of this ambroxan grapefruit kind of a smell, and it dries down with this smoky kind of an incensey touch to it. This is one of the best fragrances of all time. Very suitable for the youth and for people with older age people as well. It's really nice of a fragrance because this fragrance, you do get a lot of this projection, about 2 to 2.5 feet of a projection, and it lasts about 7 to 8 hours on my skin. Okay, 7 to 8 hours, which is a really strong performing kind of a fragrance if you ask me. Now, moving up from this list onwards, we want something a little bit more bolder, okay? Bolder and bolder. That's how we climb up the stairs, right? So now, climbing up in the scale of boldness, we're gonna go with Versace Eros EDT. Now, Versace Eros Eau de Toilette is an extremely nice fragrance. It's a sharp fragrance. It's a minty, vanillic kind of a fragrance. You won't really go wrong with this fragrance, no matter what fragrance concentration that you use. EDT, EDP or Parfum, they all work perfectly fine. This fragrance is not only minty, but the smell of it is alluring. It draws people in. It wants to make people know. People will ask you, what fragrance are you wearing? And this is the name of the fragrance, Versace Eros Eau de Toilette. Again, climbing up the boldness staircase, all right, we are gonna go with this fragrance next. Okay, the reason why I give this fragrance at the 4th place here is actually because of its a little bit of a dated kind of a DNA, all right? Not really it's dated because I do love to use this fragrance really much, but there are flankers that's even more sexy and alluring compared to this. Now, this is JPG Le Mille. For me, it's one of the head turners, okay? It's an extremely nice fragrance. You get a lot of this mint, vanilla and lavender kind of a DNA, which is the trademark DNA which you can get in JPG fragrances. It's an extremely nice fragrance. Love to use this really much. Highly recommended. Climbing up the stairs with the next fragrance, okay, this is the top 3 as of now. I'm gonna go with Armaf. This is Armaf Odyssey Mandarin Sky. Now, this fragrance, if you do not know it already, let me just let you know one more time. This is basically an exact dupe of JPG Scandal. Now, this fragrance, it do captures this photorealistic clone, okay, photorealistic representation of an orange creamsicle. Love this really much. You do smell like a dessert when you spray this fragrance on your skin, okay? People will love to smell this on you, okay? It is something that people will seek out to see what kind of fragrance that you are wearing, okay? When they ask you, just let them know that you are wearing this. Man, this fragrance smells really nice as I smell it on the air. Super sexy, alluring, seductive and addictive kind of a smell. Going up the ladder one more step, it's really hard to decide at this point, okay? Extremely hard, okay? And my decision may somehow be a little bit more depending on the situation or depending on the feeling that I want to feel, all right? For now, number 2, having a really hard time to choose. Actually had to go with this one, okay? This is Azzaro, the most wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. This is an extremely nice fragrance, okay? Imagine toffee, okay, with lots of this cardamom, okay? It's an extremely warm and spicy fragrance. This fragrance will do you no wrong because this fragrance, it does smell sexy and super alluring, okay, with its addictive DNA. The most wanted kind of a line of a fragrance is an extremely sexy fragrance, okay? Love to use this fragrance really much, okay? This is an extremely nice fragrance to be used at cold weather, okay, or during winter time. This fragrance is extremely a crazy head turner. You will not regret getting this fragrance. Now, going up to the number 1, okay, this is the number 1 in this list. This is called Cayenne Classic by the house of Al-Wataniah. Now this fragrance, why do I say this is my number one fragrance? Okay, this fragrance, before Dior Homme Intense was reformulated, you get Cayenne Classic. Okay, I'm not joking, because this fragrance is extremely strong and potent. Just few nights ago, I think it was like 3 to 4 nights, okay, I used this fragrance, lasted on my skin for about 9 hours. Okay, very long. This fragrance is an extremely outperformer kind of a fragrance. You will not go wrong with this fragrance. If you love creamy iris DNA, you love extremely luxurious smelling kind of a fragrance, this fragrance is for you. This fragrance also, it has a lot of this powdery vibe, woody kind of a fragrance, and it does have this vanillic kind of an undertone. Sometimes I mistaken it as something like a chocolate dusting. This fragrance is extremely nice to smell. Love to smell it really much. Sometimes when I just sort through, when I just browse through my fragrance collection, I just go into my collection, just somehow I just take off the cap and just smell it, man. Sometimes I just spray it a little bit on my arm as well. Love to smell this really much. It gives us a lot of this luxurious vibe, which will guarantee you to be a head turner, the center of attraction when you are using this fragrance. That's for sure. So there you have it. This is the list that I have for you. They are all head turner kind of a fragrance, and you notice that only one which is qualified to be a little bit of a strong daytime kind of a fragrance, which is in this list. All of these are good for evening as well. That's why I say head turner fragrances, they do have a lot of this kind of a pungent kind of a note, you know, pungent as in sharpness, a lot of this warm, spicy, dominating kind of an edge. Okay, they have a little bit of a seductiveness kind of a chord into it. This doesn't really necessarily have seductive edge into it, but for me, this is definitely a head turner when it comes to office-based fragrances, that kind of a grade. Love this fragrance really much. Undeniably, all of these, I love this really much. I was struggling to choose between these two. Actually, I thought this would be my number one, but recently I'm more in love with this kind of a creamy iris kind of a DNA which Dior Homme Intense has. Okay, just for a reminder, if you have not checked out the entire video, let me just tell you, this is Cayenne Classic by the house of Al-Wataniah. It's an extremely nice fragrance. It's a complete 95% of an interpretation of Dior Homme Intense, an exact clone, and a very nice clone at doing its job